Hello and welcome to the Carpediem Company. In this video we are going to explore why pandemic is giving people vivid, unusual dreams. This channel is an effort to entertain you with a vast variety of topics. If you wish to support this effort, consider becoming a sponsor on Patreon, or make a one-time contribution. Your support will help us create more of these videos more frequently on more number of topics. Do check out all the links in the description below. Let's get started. Science has long suggested that when we wake up, the contents of dreams and emotions are linked to wellness. The strange nightmares of reaction allow some dreamers to relieve intense memories or daily psychological stress within the protection of their subconscious. Dreams, on the other hand, can be signs of anxious alertness that we may not see in our waking lives. With millions of people taking shelter in the home during the coronavirus epidemic, some dream experts believe that the deprivation of our normal environment and daily stimulation has left dreamers lacking in inspiration, leaving us unaware. Forced to put more weight on in the last Whaler case, his long-standing passion for comics is constantly scrolling through political posts on Twitter came to portray a sudden scenario that explained him as commenting on the world's economic concerns. The virus is invisible, and I think that's why it's transformed into so many different things. Deirdre Barrett, Harvard University. At least 5 research teams at institutions in at least 5 countries have been collecting examples of whalers, and one of their findings so far is that the epidemic's dreams are compounded by changes in stress, loneliness, and sleep patterns. Is a cycle of emotions that has set them apart. In addition to ordinary dreams, we normally use REM sleep and dreams to handle intense emotions, particularly negative emotions, says Patrick McNamara, an associate professor of neurology at Boston University School of Medicine who is an expert in dreams. Obviously, this pandemic is producing a lot of stress and anxiety. Epicenter tripping. During our dream state, stress sends the brain on a journey. According to McNamara, the psychological signals and reactions that cause dreams are similar to drugs initiated by mental disorders. Psychedelics are called serotonin 5-HT2A, which then activate a nerve receptor that activates a portion of the brain. The result is known as emotional abandonment, a state in which emotions overwhelm consciousness, especially during the sleep agitation (REM) phase, as we usually dream. Although these processes occur at night, most people do not remember their dreams. Living by the coronavirus epidemic may have changed the way that loneliness and stress affect the content of dreams and allow some dreamers to remember more of them. For one, lack of anxiety and activity reduces the quality of sleep. Often, awareness, also known as parasomnias, is associated with increased dream memory. People closer to the pandemic threat, healthcare workers, those living in epicenters, and those with affected family members, are more likely to experience outbreak-influenced dreams. According to a study conducted in March by the Lyon Neuroscience Research Center in France, participants' dream recall increased 35% due to the coronavirus epidemic, with reactions reporting 15% more negative dreams than usual. A separate study was promoted by the Association Italiano di Medicina del Sonno, Italian Association of Sleep Medicine, analyzing the dreams of limited Italians during the outbreak. Many of the subjects are experiencing nightmares and parasomnias in line with symptoms of post-traumatic stress disorder. Not surprisingly, some years ago when we studied survivors of the 2009 Litor's Aquila earthquake, we found that sleep disorders and also nightmares strictly depended on the proximity to the epicenter, says Luigi Di Gennaro, a professor of physiological psychology at the University of Rome who is working on the Italian coronavirus study. In other words, the seismic map mostly overlapped that of sleep disturbances. Di Gennaro's ongoing research and other work such as the results of the Lyon study suggest that people closest to the risk of epidemics, the influx of healthcare workers, people living on epicenters, and the influences of affected family members, more likely. Overcoming the nightmares. Many studies have shown that our waking activities produce a slide reel of memories that affects the content of our dreams. Day-to-day emotions can affect what we dream about and how we feel about it in our dreams. reducing or limiting the sources of daily memories, while isolated in solitude, can limit the content of dreams or transmit the subconscious to deep memories. Deirdre Barrett, assistant professor of psychology at Harvard University and author of The Committee of Sleep, has collected and analyzed dreams from the survivors of traumatic events, including the September 11 World Trade Center attacks. Barrett has found that dreams in which people process traumas tend to follow two patterns: they either directly reference or reenact a version of the traumatic event, or the dreams are fantastical, with symbolic elements standing in for the trauma. For those wishing to control bad dreams, focusing on satire can be helpful. In the latest sample of Barrett's coronavirus dreams, which he began collecting in March with this survey, some participants dreamed that they had the virus infected or died. In another set of dreams Barrett collected, participants replaced the fear of the virus with the metaphorical element, such as bugs, zombies, natural disasters, shadowy figures, monsters, or public shooters. Except for the dreams of healthcare workers, we don't see vivid visual imagery of people struggling to breathe on the ventilator, Barrett says. The virus is invisible, and I think that's why it's transformed into so many different things. For all their varieties, one thing that many pandemic dreams have in common is how strange they seem to be to participants in the study. This is a method used by the brain to stimulate emotional regulation, says Perrin Ruby, a researcher at the Lion Neuroscience Research Center. For those suffering from nightmares of coronavirus, there is growing evidence that excessive dream skills can relieve their suffering. When Barrett works with patients to script their dreams, she often asks how they want the dreams to be different. When a patient suggests a new direction of her dream, they can write it down and practice it before going to bed. These scripts range from more world-class solutions, such as battling invaders, to dreamlike scenarios, such as reducing the size of an attacker to ants. Researcher Ruby says that for those who are trying to control bad dreams, focusing on satire may be the focus. Changing the context can change the laws of physics and similar perspectives, and present another angle, a shift in understanding that can help change or control the emotion. Share it across with those whom you think might benefit from this. If you wish to support the production of more videos like these, consider becoming a sponsor on Patreon, or make a one-time contribution, all through the links in the description below.